Blood and guts. Yeah. Now, I'm sure everyone's going to say Blood and Guts was great, spectacular, but I'm going to be honest here. Stuff that was done here was good, yes. But there were things that should have been done on other shows. Let's make this clear. A few things could have been done on another Dynamite, easily. Opening of the show. Jack Perry versus Hook for the FTW title. I'm going to make this clear. This shouldn't have opened the show. I'm saying it right now. Next with feeling too short. I'm making it clear now. This match felt too damn short. Now, could it be because of Blood and Guts? Yes. I believe everything here before Blood and Guts was cut dramatically to make enough room for Blood and Guts, which worked fine. But there were matches that should have just been given their own shows. This is one of them. No one's saying the FTW title is important, but the feud of a now turned heel Jack Perry, who literally, when the match was supposed to start, the Jungle Boy music played, nothing happened. Jungle Boy music played again, nothing happened. Lights went out, Titantron came up, and you see Jack Perry wearing all black, wearing shades, dragging someone and throwing him into a ditch. That was supposed to be himself. Throwing away the old him, and now there's a new him. And then, I don't know the piece. I don't know. Look, I'm not a classical music fan. I'm just not. I've only heard this type of music once in a while, and I never really asked 100% who did it. Was it Bach or was it Beethoven? I believe this might have been Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. I could be wrong. I don't know music that is classical from hundreds of years ago. But I do believe it might have been Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. I think. I don't know. If I'm wrong, you can tell me below, because I'm not a classical music fan. But someone decided to make him so narcissistic that he would use classical music to come out to. That takes balls. Did it be... was it effective? I can't really say yes or no. This is the first time it's happening. And it was on a rushed match. Let's not get this twisted. This match needed its own... It needed its own main event. That's what this was needing. A main event. I know not everyone would agree to it, but it needed it. You're giving Jungle Boy the moment to become a really good heel. And you needed him to have that moment by himself without worrying about Blood and Guts. Now, everyone else is not going to agree. I'm sure just Alex won't agree, and I'm sure JD won't agree. They'll say, this is perfect where it is. I don't agree with that. You want to set someone apart, you give them a main event. Whether it's a small feud or a substantial one. If it's something that you're willing to devote a good amount of time to, make it important. And the match was fine. Seeing that Jungle Boy... Well, I gotta remember to call him Jack Perry now because he's not going by Jungle Boy anymore. Seeing that Jack Perry or JP, maybe I'll do that too. The way the match went with JP was fine. Seeing that he cheated to win, I'm not surprised. He now won, and the person that was the most pissed next to Hook is Taz. And this is where I wish, for a little while, Taz would leave the commentary table and get involved. Now, here's the problem though. It depends on what condition Taz's neck is in. Because if Taz could take a bump or two, that would make it so much better for Hook. It would give him more than what he has. Many people love Hook, but Hook has never been challenged in a way that would really make him so pissed off, so frustrated, or so lost that he can really be great. His father would be the key. If Taz can take a bump, because I don't think he can, but if he is able to take at least one or two bumps, I'm not saying every single time, but to make it special for Taz to take a bump, to hit the floor or hit the mat, at least within safety. Because remember, he's got a badly jacked neck. Now I'm sure he's got at least one surgery done or two since the time he broke it. But if he can at least take one bump for his son to really give hook a new persona, something different, because let's make it, the devil should come. Well, I'm just saying, the handsome devil Hook needs to go away. He needs to go away. I'm just saying. Now, moving on. We got Britt Baker. This match did not need to happen. I don't know why they did this. Why did they give Britt Baker and Sparks, 2 minutes, 3 at the most, to have a match, and Britt... Look, I love Britt. Damn good looking woman who can probably fix my teeth in a minute. I'm scared to get my teeth done, guys. If you always wondered why your teeth are so jumbled, I had 2 wisdom teeth that went this way, and I got 1 set taken out. Scared out of my damn wits at the time when the pandemic happened, and I'm still scared. Need someone to go with me. But the point is, she's a gorgeous woman who can fix your teeth, and she can wrestle. She can do promos. But why in the blue fuck is she here in a short 2 to maybe 3 minute match, if it even reached that far? There was no point in it. It was dumb. It hurt the women. This is where it gets a black mark. I'm sure just Alex or JD may say, well, they didn't need to do that. It was okay for what it was. Or maybe they didn't need to do that. It counts on which one, either one I'm going to say. I'm going to say it was stupid booking. I don't care who booked this. I don't care even if it was Britt Baker herself who wanted to give Sparks a moment in her own hometown. Even though it was Boston. And it was, I believe, her hometown. It's wrong. Wrong. I'm sorry. It made Britt look weak. And it didn't help Sparks either, since she jobbed so damn fast. Yes, she got on TV, but she's been on TV before. What's the point now? She didn't need it. Then, the match also, that could have had its own main event. The finals for the blind tag team eliminator tournament. MJF and Cole versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. Was the vid pack beforehand, them going to a Chinese restaurant and MJF not hating but despising spicy foods good. It was funny. Seeing that was funny. Seeing they thought that the guy who was cleaning up, who was Chinese, reminded them of either Garcia or Guevara, and they're ready to do a double clothesline on him. Wasn't funny. Yeah, it was funny. But what many people do not understand, why MJF is as good as he is. And he is damn good, whether you like him or not. Whether you think he's a piece of shit in real life, which you shouldn't. He is who he is. Look, whether you like Maxwell Jacob Freeman in real life or not is irrelevant. He's doing a persona on TV, and he does it excellently. He knows how to turn on a dime to go from being one of the most despised people to one of the most cheered people. Look what he did. Look what happened in the beginning of it. Dancing around with Garcia, and then wanted to do a dance-off. A dance-off, which the Boston crowd ate up. Most of the fans were loving most of the show, yes. But they were going insane by this point. Not talking about ludicrous speed by the time of Blood and Guts, because they did. But here they already went insane because of how MJF managed to manipulate the crowd. This is what I'm telling people who just don't get it. I'm going to be honest here. When I hear just Alex say how he loves how great spots are, but then when you see something like this, he shouldn't like it. Because he's a very high level spot person. He likes high aerial wrestling. Really a lot. But when you see him saying this, it seems very contradicting what he's saying. But it's understandable. He's a very open-ended wrestling fan. But the way he talks makes it very hard to believe which one is he trying to be. Is he trying to be the high spot wrestling fan? Or is he trying to be more of an old school type of wrestling fan like MJF was acting? MJF was playing to the crowd more than he was wrestling, guys. He made basically a suicide dive. Here, it important. Made the crowd go crazy because he'd never done it. Adam Cole made him do it, and people went insane, and he's acting like, I can't believe I did it. He made people cheer for him when they despised him before, because he knows how to play to the crowd. This is where I talk about psychology. Wrestling is not about going in the ring. It is about how you use psychology to get the fans to do what you want. To cheer you, to boo you, to cheer your opponent, to boo your opponent, or to cheer and boo the people that are at ringside. Or to cheer themselves. You need to know how to manipulate them. It's also still important to know how to wrestle, to go with it. Because there's a lot of people who have such great a gift like that, but they can't wrestle for nothing and they look bad. But he's got it all. He's one of the rare few that I've seen that can do it. And in the end, they won the match. They did. FTR comes out. Great. No problem. I liked how they came out, and you could see Dash Hardwood was pissed off. He was even more pissed when they started playing the combined music of MJF music and Adam Cole's music. Admittedly, I'm not liking it. I don't. I'm sorry. I think they should have done reverse and use Adam Cole's as the bass and use MJF as the accent in it. I think it would have been better reversed. But they use MJF's music and then Adam Cole was added to it. It just doesn't sound right for me personally. But I think some people will like it. But that's just me. You guys can blow. This was a great match. That should have been its own main event. It should have been. Like Hook and Jack Perry should have been its own main event. This should have been its own main event. And I know people are going to say, dude, the reason to put it there, it's a main event. Put it there to add to Blood and Guts. But honestly, I think it shouldn't have been done. Now, we will be getting I believe a tournament or a match for the TNT title #1 contendership. I think it's another Battle Royal. AR Fox is going to get a shot at the international champion because Darby Allin asked. And he's going to be in the match along with Nick Wayne, in that very match that I believe is going to be for a #1 contendership. Let me give it to you like this. Am I feeling Nick Wayne? No. Am I feeling Darby Allin protecting Nick Wayne? Yes. Would I like to see Darby Allin go up against Orange Cassidy for the international championship? Yes. I think I want to see them instead of the TNT title, which would get messed up, because at this point, I'd rather see Christian hold it along with Luchasaurus. That's just me. And finally, we got the final match of the night, Blood and Guts. BCC with Pac versus the Golden Elite with, what is the guy's name? I'm trying to remember his name. Kenta Ibushi. I believe that's his name. I've only seen him a couple of times, so I can't really get into him because I've not seen him much. If you have, tell me below if you like him or not. I don't really know if he's one of the greatest in New Japan Pro Wrestling, because I do know he was working with when they were talking about Kenny Omega, talking about when he was with Ibushi before he joined the Elite. No, my mistake. Bullet Club. I can understand what they were doing with the Bullet Club, and that's when we still had Finn Balor, Prince Albert. I believe his name was Prince Albert at the time. I can't remember what he called himself. But having that there, I can understand. Also, AJ was also involved as well. But let me give it to you like this. Was this brutal? Hell yes, it was. The first were Kenny and Claudio. Sign me up on a feud with those two. I want to see Kenny Omega have a feud with Claudio Castagnoli. I know you'll say, dude, what? Yes. Wouldn't it be interesting seeing Claudio go up against Kenny? I would love to have seen that. I don't know if they've ever interacted before Claudio came to All Elite. Maybe they did when he was still working in ROH, when Kenny was still coming up. I don't know. But I would love to see a feud between the two. But then, I want to see them finish up the story with Pac and Kenny. Because Pac has beaten Kenny. And he should have been a champion already. But he's never been a champion except a trios champion. And a All-Atlantic champion. And then we get to see, during this match, we get to see thumbtacks drop from the top of the cage by, I believe, Matt, or was it Nick? I think Matt, to let everyone get stuck with it. We got pretty much glass thrown in by Moxley in a bucket. We got a bed of nails this long put in there where Mox went through it, Kenny went through it. I think Wheeler Yuta might have gone through it, but I don't remember. We got a lot going on in that show. It was a very chaotic Blood and Guts match. Was it bad? No. It was actually a very good one. But this is where it gets a little interesting. And I have to go off of Blood and Guts for a minute. I have not made a video about the new rules of AEW. The AEW new rules and regulations now say for dangerous matches where there could be cuts in the head, where they can do pile drivers, where they're getting chair shots, they must be authorized by senior members in the back that were currently part of creative, and I think from also the trainers. So we just got those new rules, updated rules for AEW, that if there's things they don't agree with, you got to get authorization first to do it. And they just did this after they just released these new rules for authorization. That is just like, really? You're going to wait until afterward that this was going to be done for you to do this? I think if you'd done this almost a month ahead of time, it wouldn't have been bad for me personally, but you've seen the rules now, and then you do the most brutal match that is in pro wrestling. Pretty much a war games match. Their version of it. And you see so much blood from Moxley. You see tacks in the back. You see Claudio getting literally stuck in his back with a whole bunch of glass. You see the thumbtacks being rained down from above when basically Wheeler Yuta and I believe Matt was the one who was doing basically triple suplexes. I can't remember how many suplexes. I think it was 3 suplexes he did when he holds on and does the cartwheel go. I can't remember. I think he did about 3 or 4. Can't remember. But honestly, that really doesn't make sense. You only done it in less than a week, and then this happens. Of course, they got authorization. That's why they did this. But still, it would have been better afterward. And they would say, okay, you got worried about people getting hurt. You do the rules now. From now on, you do it. But beforehand, I think it's like a liability thing. But anyway, in the end, this is where it gets good for me. Pac's my boy. I love Pac. He's my boy. From when he was Neville to when he became Pac, I've always believed he was one of the best all-around, high-flying, high-impact wrestlers because he's one of the rare few who understands, like MJF, that you need to understand how to really motivate the crowd, how to use psychology to screw with them. He learned that. He doesn't do it all the time, but when he does it on point. That's the reason why he's so brutal, so vicious, and knows when to stop wrestling and to start being basically a character. And what did we get? Him having constant problems with Claudio, to the point that he got so sick of what was going on with Claudio, he decided to go under the ring. He gives everyone flip off the bird, and then cuts the chain. Once the Blood and Guts match began, they got chained up. He cut the damn chain and left. My boy left. He left them high and freaking dry. And the moment that he left, Don realized it's going to be a huge mess for his boy, Konosuke Kateska. So I always get Konosuke's first name wrong. I hope I got it right this time. But he decided to come out, call Kateska, and jumps out of the ring. So it's now 3-on-5. And once you see that Wheeler got his ass handed to him, got basically a sneaker put on with those thumbtacks stuck to it, going like this, and then they wrap the chain around him. He's starting to get choked. One, Moxley had no choice but to surrender because one, he was handcuffed, and two, he didn't want to see you to get choked out to the point where he could die. So there you go. It is over. It was Mox who surrendered. It wasn't Yuta who surrendered. It wasn't Claudio who surrendered. It was Moxley who openly said, I surrender. Let him go. He wasn't going to let Yuta die. in a sense. So this is what we got, guys. We got a good blood and guts match. It was good. But then other things during this show easily should have been their own main events. And as much as people can say, dude, it was great. You got the FTW Championship match. It was great. The finals for the Blind Eliminator Tournament. It was great. It's not the point that they were great. We knew they were going to be good or great. The opening match was good. That match was great. But it's not the point. Sometimes you need to save these things and put them by themselves. No one else is going to agree with me, and I'm sure they're not going to. They're going to say, this was excellent. I loved it. It's the best thing AEW produced. But for me personally, I understand why they did it, but I do not agree with them. They could have done other stuff. They could have highlighted the women more. Where was Willow Nightingale and where was Ricky Starks? Ricky supposedly beat CM Punk on Collision. I didn't get a chance to see it because I did Slammiversary, so I never had a chance to see it yet. Haven't had a chance to see it. So I didn't see the win. Where was Willow? Where was Ricky Starks? What now for them? What happened with Jade Cargill? Right now she's not there. Maybe she's on vacation. What about all those women you could be doing something with, and you could devote a little bit of time in the beginning instead of giving, a 2 or 3 minute match to Sparks and Britt Baker? And even though she's going DMD, I want more from them. But it's just me. Peace.